Bannock. This was by request. Hang on. Okay, so here's an egg. I always use one egg. Next, I will be adding a half a cup of milk. Doesn't matter what kind. And then, as you can see, I've now added water, cold or warm, just not hot because you've got the egg in there. And you just beat it until it's thoroughly mixed. Alright, next ingredient is the dry. You don't have to level it off. I use 3 cups of flour. Next is the baking powder. I usually use about a teaspoon per cup, so because I use 3 cups of flour, I'm going to use 3 teaspoons of baking powder. Doesn't have to be level, but just be careful with it too. Alright. Now this is a choice, but I usually like to add about 2 to 3 teaspoons of sugar. Again, it doesn't have to be level. Now before I stir the dry ingredients and then add the liquid to it, this is the time that I start to heat up the oil. Now as you can see, it's not too far up against the pan here. Here, hang on. There you go. That's how much oil we're using. It could be vegetable, canola, corn oil, to your preference. And what I'll do is I'll turn the heat up at about 4, because you don't want it to get too hot. This will catch on fire if you turn the heat up too high. So I usually like to keep it at 4, and this will heat up while I mix the dry ingredients with the liquid. Hang on. All right, here we go. I'm just going to mix the dry ingredients really quickly. It is your choice to add craisins, raisins, whatever it is you want. You notice that I didn't add salt. I've had to learn to make this without salt, and I just got used to making it that way. It's also your choice. Okay, it's time to add the liquid to the dry. Just pour it all in. And then you mix. All right, here we go. Now to see if the oil is hot enough, which I'm pretty sure it is now. Again, please don't have the heat up too high. The texture of the batter is up to you. If you want it to be a little more drier so that you can handle it by hand, go by the recipe of what I just shared. But if you want the texture of the batter to be like mine here, you can add a little bit more water so that it goes to this consistency, which I probably added a little less than a 1/4 cup more liquid. And there you have it. It took a lot of questions from a lot of aunties for me to get this to this point with making bannock. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Call your elders. And there you have it. This is the color you want it to be at when it's done cooking. This is when you'll know. That's it. Part of the reason you don't want the heat up too high is you'll burn the outside, and then in the middle of the bannock it'll be uncooked. So 4 is the best number, or anything lower, a little bit lower. Hang on. Alright, here we go. You can cut it by knife, or you can just pull it apart. Oh, that's hot. I got some huckleberry jam here. Love it. Oh my God. Oh. There you have it. Okay, as you can see, this is a glass counter. Now this is the area that I finished cooking the bannock on. Do not clean it after you're done using it. Don't put anything else on top of it to boil or anything like that. Allow this to cool completely before you even wipe it clean. The reason is because this is a glass counter, and we all know what happens if you suddenly add something cool to glass while it's hot. It shatters, right? Now take the pan of hot oil and move it across from that to here with the handle turned in, because this needs to cool completely before you do anything with it. Don't try to drain it, nothing like that. Allow it to cool completely and then pour it into a glass jar once it's ready.